Buongiorno everyone, welcome back to the Magpie Channel podcast. We're here at Anarchy Brew, another week, a different setup, okay?
Another different setup, yeah. Might change it around things. It's a little like the old setup, to be fair. This is like the original setup, but it's just a little bit different. Got a little bit more, got some photos on the wall now.
Wonky ones, so that's good.
Yeah, don't look at this one. This one's
don't look at that one.
Rather annoying, but never mind.
I'm going to spirit level here at the brew. We have to mess that one up, didn't we, lads? And we've got a different camera on. We're sharing a new mic. Might get two of these, just depending on the sound. Hopefully, it's all good for
just
you.
Just giving it a go. Let me know how it goes.
Giving it a go, because we had some feedback last week and I was listening back. It was a bit crackly. So, hopefully, that's not the case anymore. Different mic, different camera. Give it a go. Mix things up. See what works and does not. Shout out everyone that's tuned in already. Eddie Wolf, keep calling back Eddie. Nice positive start there, evening from him, evening Jackie. Peter Griffin's not worried, so that's good. Didn't want Peter worried, do it?
Didn't want Peter worried, no.
Everyone like and subscribe to Jessica Sheenaz. Lovely stuff. Let's dive into it then, Keg. And there's no other place to start on the day of fixture list day.
Oh, yes.
Than the fixture list.
That's normally the place to go on fixture list day, yeah.
So after my video today, let us know your thoughts on the out fixtures. We'll start off with Aston Villa away. Lunchtime kickoff on the Saturday. Happy with that one? Tough game, but...
Could be better.
Yeah, be better.
I mean, to be fair, like I know away is different and... What I record at Villa Park's a bit hit-y-missy, as I suppose it is at home sometimes as well. But yeah, like Villa Park, it's a tricky place to go. We've done well year before last. I think we beat them 3-0, wasn't it? Yeah, like even year before last, when they were the first game at home, I was looking at the fixtures because after that it was Liverpool at home, was it? City away, or vice versa? Was it Liverpool away, City at home? One of the two, and then Brighton away. And I was looking at them first 4 games thinking, that's tricky and I don't like that at all. Then we got off to a mint start and we beat Villa 5-0. Like, proper out of the blue. Like, didn't expect that absolute drubbing there. Like, then things went a little bit tits up after that. But we don't need to worry about that right now because that was 2 years ago. But, yeah, it's not ideal. Could be worse. But as you said in your video, like, get them out of the way early. Like, it's all right. Like, the way I look at it, and like, today, fixture list day, I think it's a bit of an overrated day. Like, because you play everyone anyway. So it doesn't fucking matter. At the end of the day, by the time you get to your 38th game, it's all about the points that you accumulate over the 38 games, not the first 2 or 3. Yes, it's nice to start well, build a bit of momentum, and on the flip side, it's not great to get off to a bad start and then find yourself like in like the bottom few of the league. Like you've only got 1 or no points in your first like 2, 3, 4 games. Like, so yeah, I get like you want a nice, easy start. But like I say, it is nice to get them out of the way early. So even if we do get off to a bit of a rocky start, like we did 2 years ago, where we're lost after Villa to Liverpool, City and Brighton, then things started to kick on. Like everyone was pure panicking. Everyone was like how out after 3 games? Like, we got beat off Liverpool and City. Calm down. All right, Brighton was a bit embarrassing. And that's where things went tits up. We had the 0-0 with AC Milan. Then things started to turn around. So yeah, I'm not fussed. Like I can see both ways. So yeah, get them out of the way early. Yeah, Villa Park, hard place to go. Liverpool at home, tricky first 2 games. A newly promoted team in Leeds away, very good team, very good away ground, like good fan base. So yeah, it's a tricky start, but I really think it could be worse. Like, I'm not too worried about this. Like them first 2 games especially, I think we'll win at Ellen Road. But yeah, them first 2 games, it's a good test, really good test.
They'll all pose different tests in their own right as well, to be fair. Like Villa, I'm a big fan of getting this out of the way on the first day. I really am. I just think,
away, especially at home, I wouldn't really mind. I'd fancy it would win.
I wish it was at home. I think it is always nice to start the season at home.
Yeah, really
we're also starting the season away and ending it away. Getting to the last fixture in a few minutes. But Villa away on the opening day, 12:30, not ideal, especially if you're travelling down there, obviously, which hopefully I will be. But I'd rather do it now. Imagine doing Villa away on a Saturday after you've just played Barcelona in the week, so get that out of the way for me is decent. Get Liverpool out of the way before they hit a run of form. Hopefully Wirtz won't be quite up to speed yet. And then Leeds, like you mentioned, it's going to be a hostile atmosphere.
Yeah, it is.
But
it's a good one now because it's not too far away. It's
excellent,
almost like a derby. If we didn't have a derby,
we actually have one for change.
If it wasn't for Sunderland, this would be like our derby. This is going to be our nearest rival. But we do have an actual rival. So yeah, like I think Leeds is a really good one. Like it's a great city. To be fair, if you're under 30, and you enjoy your night out like we used to do about like 10 years ago.
Great.
We did go to Leeds one time. It was really, really
It
good.
was class,
Enjoyed
right?
myself. Really
Definitely.
good. So yeah,
Couldn't have
brilliant
that
night out, brilliant city, great stadium, great club, great history, great fan base.
Yeah.
And it's only a couple hours down the road. So, yeah, lovely little away ground.
It is a lovely little away ground. We're talking about August and now September, Wolves, Bournemouth, but Arsenal's home cake. Arteta. If you're looking for revenge, you got a bit of it at the Emirates.
Some tears.
But we'll be looking for the same tears again from Robbie and all them on the FTV, hopefully. And Arteta himself whinging about the ball, which is actually Puma this season.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Same as the Carabao. So he's not going to like that one, is he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good point, that. A season full of the wrong kind of ball.
So when Arsenal finish like 5th, Arteta's just going to blame Puma.
Puma's fault. Sorry, guys. But if they win the league, what are you going to say?
Best ball ever.
I love Puma, mate.
Just because I complained last year, they improved it. That's why you'll be saying you think.
It's all down to Mikel.
Yeah, it's all about me, isn't it, Mikel? Yeah. And then we'll skim over October and November, okay, because we're getting to the festive fixture pile-up.
Yes.
6
Big
games in December, not including Champions League, domestic, or any of that. And obviously the big one there on the 13th, the Stadium of Shite.
Yep. Buzzing
For that?
Aye, of course. Like it's interesting, but like as you say, like I was having a look through these fixtures and kind of like going through like a little bit of a prediction. But I feel like on paper, December should be 100% maximum points.
All of those games?
Aye, absolutely.
Tottenham at home, Chelsea at home,
Tottenham at home have had a mint record with in the past. Like Tottenham are a little bit shit, and they cannot play in Jimmy's Park.
Thomas the Frank engine now.
We've got Burnley home and away. Tricky, especially away.
Oh, Burnley both in 1 minute.
Yeah, on the 6th at home and on the 30th.
You be going to Burnley, won't you, on the 30th December?
Love Turf Moor, especially at New Year.
New Year's Eve at Turf Moor?
New Year at Turf Moor, I'll have some of that.
Hailstone that again?
Me and JJ walk down the lash.
You'd actually love that. You're a dream country,
Give us a ring, JJ. I'll come. But yeah, like Burnley again, like newly promoted team, tricky, especially away. Tough, but I fancy we're especially at home. But yeah, away we should be better than them. Sunderland again, new team, newly promoted, and they'll be wanting it. Especially on their turf. It'll be tricky. Derby always tricky.
Have you seen their December fixture list though?
Actually, I haven't.
Are they good to play Liverpool and Man City in the same week as playing Newcastle? So they've got Liverpool, Man City, 3 days apart between playing Newcastle. So
enjoy the championship next season. But
we could obviously be coming back from Italy or whatever.
Wait, that's what I'm alluding to. So yeah, Chelsea at home, we've got a good record against. Away, I'd be worried. Home, I'm not. Man United away, I fancy we're both home and away, to be honest. So I feel like maximum points could and should be taken in the league in December. But as you mentioned,
18 points.
We might even end up with 2 Champions League games in that month because they'll probably be the last ones. The Champions League normally ends before Christmas, doesn't it?
Doesn't anymore in the new format though.
Does it not?
No.
Right. So we still might.
There will be one, I think.
Yeah, that should be. Yeah, maybe at least one.
8 games to play.
Yeah, so that's maybe 2 games, Champions League games to go in there. And I was going back to our fixtures last year, where Carabao Cup quarter final against Brentford was on the 18th of December. So if we get to the quarters, we could end up with a cup quarter final, 2 Champions League games, and 6 Premier League games. And that's the month that this squad's going to get tested.
We're going to need to bring in João Pedro.
The depth of our squad will be surely tested in this month, just like it was 2 years ago, where we came up against AC Milan, had to win. We were a little bit short. We were very thin. Some things didn't work out. We got put up by Chelsea in the cup.
Mistakes and errors, tiredness. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I mean. Like this summer is really going to depend on how that December goes. I think like we really need like our squad's going to be tested to the limit in that month. We should win all them games, but depending on what Carabao Cup quarter-final opposition, if we've got one, or Champions League opposition, like some of them games start to look a bit ropey. Even Sunderland away. Like, if we're coming away from somewhere, it's a hard place. Newly promoted team.
Yeah.
Big derby, obviously their first derby back. They'll be trying to do 7 in a row in the league.
Can't let that happen.
And like Man United away, Chelsea at home. Them games become tough if we've got a couple of European fixtures in a cup quarter final to contend with. So yeah, our squad's going to be absolutely tested to the max. Yeah,
I think the end of the month is going to be really tricky because of what you just said. Like Chelsea at home, we've got a good record against them, pretty much. Man U away normally now is a good day out, but like you see, with all the pile up of different games and different tournaments, and be stretched to its limit because it doesn't get much easier in January, to be honest.
No.
There's 5 games there.
5 games,
and then obviously the FA Cup starts in January. So there's at least 6 games there. Don't know what the Champions League format's looking like. Those fixtures don't get released till the end of August, the Champions League ones. So we'll kick off the new year with 2 very good home games, to be fair, I think, in the space of a few days. It's Palace and then Leeds. Wolves away, normally a bit tricky one. Normally a Harvey Bond screamer last year. Normally it's a draw. And then, again, coming up against Villa and Liverpool. So not easy matches there. Skip past February, then into March, where we get the chance to get a home taste of the derby.
Yeah, only 3 games in that week, though, in that month. And again, that tough one's Man United at home.
Chelsea.
Again, you fancy, but Chelsea away.
We'll never do well at Saffron Bridge in the Premier League, do it.
Yeah,
with that as well, Keg, there's just a small matter of a Carabao Cup final in March.
There is,
which we hopefully will be at retain and defending our trophy.
Yeah. So again, it's the same opposition as December, Sunderland, Chelsea and Man United. Chelsea away, haven't got a great record. Man United and Sunderland at home has to be 6 points.
Sunderland's got to be a dribble.
Got to be 6 points. But again, if we're in the cup final again, then again, we're going to be tested. It's going to be a tricky month if we end up in the final again. Another point to prove of how quality and deep our squad is.
Definitely, 3 games in April, including Arsenal away, and then May sees a bit of a mixed bag, really. I mean, Brighton at home would never do that well against, but hopefully that changes next year because they are our bogey team, knocked out the FA Cup, beat the last couple of times in a row, I believe. Forest away, we've got a good record at the City Ground, to be fair, in domestic and league. West Ham at home shouldn't be a problem, and then Fulham away.
Fond memories this season. Wasn't that like 2-1 or something last season?
At home?
Aye.
Can't remember. We'll have to check that. I can't remember.
Because normally we do have a really good record against West Ham, especially away as well. I think we might slip up last week. Yeah,
I remember we slipped up against Fulham at home.
Yeah, we did.
Nunez with the game from 1-0 down.
So them do look like some tricky fixtures, to be fair. Like Brighton away against Brighton, that's a point, because I still don't think we've beat them.
It's at home
in the league. It is at home, but it's at home. It's a favourable tie. If it was away, it might be a bit trickier. Yeah, the City Ground would do quite well at. West Ham at home again should be a win, but they're one of them teams that like to throw a little bit of a spanner in the work. And Fulham away, last game of the season, could be pushing for top 4 or wherever we are in the league. That's a tricky last game of the season to go to.
Fancy the old Geordie
Armada again? Yes, I did. 2018, was it the 18-19 season? What a day that was!
That was probably my favourite away day.
It really was. Yeah, sun was bleaching. Absolutely class. 4-0 was it?
Down on the boat cruise on the way there. At least 4-0, wasn't it? Rafa's last game.
Jose Perez, Modiame.
Legendaries. Legendaries.
Giving Mitro some stick.
He was loving it. He was waving. He was waving. So
it's a really good day.
What a day to have Fulham away in the sunshine. You want them to take the trips to London around, a nice weather forecast instead of bloody doing it like Arsenal, like I did for the Carabao Cup when it's absolutely freezing in January. In February, so to go down with Fulham to finish the season where we'll hopefully be in the Champions League mix once again.
That'll be lovely, yeah. Hopefully it's a little bit better than it was last season. Scraping onto 5th and someone else did more favour. Hopefully we'll just solidify 3rd or 4th place. No worries, no pressure. They're going into Fulham away. Hopefully we've already sealed at least 3rd or 4th place. No last minute dramas, please and thank you.
Let me know in the comments what you make of the fixture list. Let's move on and Kate to the next topic at hand, which I can't remember what it is. We will get into the juicy title in a minute. Liverpool wanting Isak, talks of Joelinton being wanted by Al Hilal and Saudi Pro League. But first of all, Kate, the comments are saying it as well. You nicely got the shirt. You said when it was released, I probably won't be buying the shirt.
Yeah, I did.
You got suckered into it.
I did.
Suckered into splashing the cash on it.
Literally on release day, I was at work working hard, obviously. Then 9 o'clock came the release. Was it 9 o'clock that came out? Whatever it was. Yeah. So the notification came out. I was looking at it again. Oh, that's pricey. I'm not getting that. And then the longer I looked at it, and then the difference between the player version and the retro version, I was like, nah, get me some of that. So I literally bought it on release day. I said I wasn't going to, and I thoroughly meant it. But yeah, release day about 9:09.
9:09. Good
cashed out. Yeah, sorry about that, but yeah, like it, enjoy it.
It's class, man.
Nice fit, lovely.
Unplanned, matchy today. We'll both got the Champions League badge on.
Has to be done. Got to be done.
We're looking at gamers asking, are we putting a name on our shirts?
I haven't yet.
It's free, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
free. It's available.
It's free. So I was going to, but I think I might wait because, first of all, the transfer window hasn't opened yet, and you don't know what kind of spanners might be thrown in the works. And I'm not talking about the ins. I'm potentially talking about the outs.
Oh, we're negative.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to think. You don't want to get someone like Isak, for example, who we're going to get onto. There's going to be a tension, like your Gordons and stuff like that. Like,
definitely don't get either of those. Yeah. Get Bruno G up to Nolly.
Yeah.
Bane.
Big damn Bane. He's going nowhere.
Big damn Bane, man.
Yeah, so I might wait until maybe it's a Champions League game, because as I mentioned in the one a few weeks ago, I like my shirt to kind of be like historic and be like a memory forever, like hand out to my kids and stuff. So if there's like a PSG type game where it's like iconic and there's like a score or someone like probably like a memorable moment or a memorable goal or something like that, like I'll probably get them on the back. So it becomes a memory of this season's shirt and like with the Champions League obviously and stuff. So yeah, I'll wait and maybe get it printed towards the end of the season, or at least until there's a very good game, good goal, a good score or a memory, something to get on the back.
Wise choice, but hopefully there isn't any of those players outgoing, and we do actually sign a big name to tempt you to get that in the back of your top. Talk about potential incomings in a minute. So. But someone asked them, well, we're going to get onto it. That was the segue. Local Barons' thoughts on the away. So the away kit's okay. I did a video on it yesterday. Well, it's not out officially. It is a leaked image. It looks like it's a sports store in Europe. It looks like it'll be spot on, doesn't it? It has to be the real deal, that one. You can tell between a leak and a fake.
Similar to the one that's been like for the past few months at least anyway.
Just changed the stripes a little bit. It's obviously green again. Will you be changing your mind on release day for this one? Or do you already like it? Do you already want it?
I'll probably not be changing my mind on this one, to be honest with you. I don't hate it, but it's just not. And again, like from like previous podcasts I've said, I always wait until it's actually released. Like, I don't often like leaks. Yeah. It's when they actually get released and you see Bruno and Isak wearing it and Joelinton's guns wrapped around it and Big Sexy Fab wearing it. Like, you think...
There's your player, Big Sexy Fab.
I think, actually, I will get that now. I'm not going to get shot. I'm going to get Big Sexy Fab. So I'll reserve my judgment once again until it comes out. But at the minute, I'm thinking... Also, I've just spent 120 quid on this, so probably not.
Double neck.
Yeah. I want to kind of wait and match up the third one.
Oh, yes.
So I might say that. Maybe stick it on a Christmas list or something like that. So we'll see about that.
Birthdays are on the same thing.
It is, birthday, Christmas Eve. If anyone wants to treat us, that'd be nice.
Oh, there you go. See what chat for King's birthday in December.
But yeah, I'll wait and see what the third one looks like and make my mind up. If I want either one, maybe not. Like I've already got this one, so I'm not particularly bothered. But we'll see. But yeah, from that leak, I'm like,
I'm a sucker.
Not the best, but
sucker for the kits since the takeover. I've been buying them all three of them, from the white and green Saudi one to then the Champions League ones, the green one, the blue and yellow one. I love those Castore kits that year, by the way, warm away and third. And this year, I'm quite glad in a way that away kit, the green one, is just a bit standard for me, a bit basic. Yeah, saved us at least 85 quid, which would have actually probably been 125 because I would have got Champions League badges in the player version. So I'm happy with that because I'm waiting to see if and when we do a Adidas Originals range again. Hoodie and tracksuit and everything was gorgeous last year. And of course, you mentioned it, the retro remake of the third one with the Adidas Trefoil logo. Yeah. So I'd much rather wait for those ones. I mean, you've seen the training kit this time. Yeah, the jacket last year and everything.
Now there'll be about 49 different releases this year.
Exactly was last year. Started off with the maroon one, then we had a black white one, then we had a white and black one, then we had an all black one. Yeah. We probably missed a couple. Like we've had that much gear from Adidas.
It's good. It's good that Adidas are like putting like good like quality stuff out now. Like in the past, it's been a little bit dinky. But, like. These Sports Directs, like no fear gear and stuff like that. Like, no, Adidas are legit. Adidas Lonsdale shit.
Adidas are definitely legit. Let me know your thoughts on the away kit in the comments. Aaron says looks like one of them kits which look better in person, but he's not a fan. Yeah. This time next year, the clearance rack is going to be packed with the bogey kit. Seems crazy. And UFC Jack went for Gordon on the back of his shirt, £111. Hopefully he doesn't leave.
Hope he kept your receipt.
Get the tags on that one.
Hopefully not.
It may be all right. Hopefully, but it's on the risky side, I would say. But yeah, you might be all right.
I would have got Wilson because that's my surname.
Yeah.
So I've been getting that since before Callum Wilson came around. Wilson nine's the number.
And 9 as well.
The iconic number, Shearer's number. Wilson. So I've been getting Wilson 9 for years. So now like there's actually a Wilson 9. But I don't want to get I don't want to get Wilson 9 just in case people think it's for Callum Wilson, and then he leaves and it's like, hey, you got Wilson on your shirt, he's gone. I'm like, fuck. You told me not to get Isak. I know. Can't be asked playing that anymore. So yeah, I was gonna get that, but I didn't want to do that. So
another striker that you could get, who's bang on in form at the minute. Big Willie. Get Big Willie. 18.
And sexy fab on the away one.
There you go. That's solid. Isula is tearing up the under 21 Euros there for the Deans. A few goals, couple of assists, on fire. You seen much of him? I've obviously just seen the highlights.
Now I've seen like the Raven stuff, like people on Twitter against like bigging him up. Like,
say maybe give him a chance and all that next year. Do we need to spend 60 million on João Pedro? All that sort of carry on. I would like to send a little reminder that it is the under 21s.
Yeah,
just because he's doing well there. It's a bit of a step up to the Premier League and Champions League, but it's fantastic to see.
Brilliant.
Great that he's taking chances off the bench as well. Again, he's not even getting a start. He did start the second game, but off the bench for the first one. And I'm sure he will get more game time because we've got more games next year.
Well, there's a caveat to that because his development was slow, just like Eddie Howe does with all of his youngsters. Like Gordon took a long time to get a game. Lewis Hall took nearly a full year of his loan spell. We've rarely seen him on loan, Lewis Hall, and comes back a year later, and he's one of our best players. Same with Gordon, signed him in January, didn't really get much of a sniff. Comes back in the next full season, and he's an absolute baller. I think Big Willie's one of them. Like he was signed as a little bit of a project, backed up, young, unestablished. We'll develop you, see how things go. But by the back end of the season, we could see where he'd been working on. Like he was a much better player. Like, he had a few sub appearances, cup games, and he was alright. Didn't really set the world alight, but
good header against Ipswich.
Yeah, but them last few games of the season, like Ipswich and things like that. Like when he came on, he was looking really, really productive and really dangerous off the right, cutting in. Yeah, quick, skillful. And obviously he's established himself as a bit of a fan favourite as well. But I think he's a dressing room favourite. I think the players love him. He's a great character. And I think that energy is kind of rubbing off, and I think everyone's starting to warm to him, not just as a person, but as a player as well. So I think his development's been great, and yes, I think there should be more minutes for him next season. As you say, there's more games, so why not? But mentioning squad depth, we do need to sign more. I still don't know if I would feel comfortable going into the season with Isak Wilson-Asula.
Nah.
So I feel like his minutes will be more, but not substantial. Just because there is more games, but I think there's going to be more competition as well. Hopefully, at least anyway. I hope we do sign someone else. Maybe a loan would do him good, but maybe that would stunt his development a bit. I've seen a link with Big Frank. Big Frank might fancy him at Coventry.
Aye,
I think that might be a good loan move for him, to be fair.
That would be nice, actually.
I don't know if I would want him to go. That's the thing.
No, I think we need to keep him around. It depends if we did go out and spend 6 million on Pedro.
I think it's a bit of a win-win. You got Frank done a really good job at Derby with the likes of Mason Mount and Tamuri was there, wasn't he? Who else did they have? They had quite a few.
We're linked with Coventry's young midfielder, that Radon or whatever he's called, Jack Radon or something. Isn't he? We're linked with him. He's done really well under Frank Lampard. He had loads of it when he was at Derby, Frank Lampard. Chelsea players and that, like you mentioned there.
So I think Frank's a good manager for youngsters, and Coventry's a really, really good championship team.
Really good, and he came up last year.
Yeah, so I think a loan move like that would be good for him. But on the other hand, I would like him to stay and continue that development and work under Eddie Howe, one of the best managers in terms of development, and trying to get first team minutes, fight for it. We might sign competition, but that doesn't mean you're reserved to minutes. Fight for it. Show how good you are.
Well, that's what he said in an interview the day as well as Sula. He said, I would just need minutes on the pitch and I can show what I can do. He's got confidence in himself, which you have to have. You love to say it. But I think it just depends on what we do incomings-wise. If we did sign one or two strikers, depending on what Wilson does, then you might have that ability to send him out on loan. But as it stands, definitely keep him. I definitely want to keep him at the training ground.
And he's looking good. I'm excited about his development. I think back end of the season looked really good, and I'm glad to see that he's doing quite well in the under-21s.
A couple of youngsters signed new contracts yesterday. 18-year-old striker Sean Neve, who was on the bench against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup. He had his medal there. He was at Box Park on the Trotter Corners. He's just turned 18. Leo, who was on the behind the scenes yesterday, it was a brilliant video. That Leo Shahar.
I didn't say that.
The right back, you need to check that out. There's like a behind the scenes where they go to the stadium. He plays the academy game. He scores. They beat Reading 7-1.
He's in England International under 18s, 19s,
came from
age group it is.
Came from his boyhood club Wolves. He looks like a really
He's been making a buzz.
Mature lad, you know. Like obviously they're following him around the training ground, the stadium and stuff. 10-15 minute YouTube video, I'd recommend it. And obviously you can get a feel of what somebody's like. He just speaks well. You can see he's switched on. You see he's like motivated, determined. He says, you know, when I ask them questions like, who's the best trainer, who's the worst trainer? He wouldn't name the worst trainer, and he said the best trainer was him. Yeah. So, he's confident in his own ability as well, and you can see that because he has been highly thought of. There was a lot of teams sniffing around him when we signed him from Wolves. So he's been given a new contract. And then the player we've seen before in the flesh, the young, exciting winger, Trevan Sanusi. Yeah. Again, 18, and he's been rewarded with a new deal as well. So, brilliant. Thing is, Keg, are these going to get any chance of breaking through the first team? We've seen all three of them on the bench for Newcastle. The first team. Neve would probably be the most obvious one, I guess, wouldn't it? Especially in the striker department. Yeah, probably. Yeah, but it's good that we've extended them because you see like quite a lot of youngsters like just run out of contract because it's saying it's quite clear that they're not going to make it. Like over the past, like obviously pre-takeover, there's been loads of players where we've been buzzing about in the under 21s or whatever and thought, there's a player there, and then they just end up getting released and then got to play for fucking Gateshead or Blythe or something. It's like, really? So like I thought there'd be like better quality in there, but I think like there has been a big that obviously was one like the big targets for the takeover, like develop the academy. Like produce like the next like Phil Fodens and things like that, like your own actual proper quality superstars without having to spend 100 million in the transfer market. Make your own £100 million players like a Phil Foden, like a Alexander Arnold or whatever. Like that's the next generation that we need to do. Like it's good business and stuff and all. Even if things don't quite work out for them and we'll sell them for 30 million, pure profit. Yeah, so it's a good thing. So yeah, but I like all of these kids. Whether they're going to get 15 minutes this year, it's to be seen. Like I think you're going to want to hope for maybe like a League Two or non-league team in the cup for them to get some minutes. Like Sanusi came on against Bromley, didn't he? I think maybe loan deals like a Championship League One team for these kids. Well, probably League One to be fair. I didn't have to get much even in the Championship. Like it's hard enough to get minutes in there, especially for their ages and their experience. So good League One team or Scotland or even Holland and stuff where like Garen Cool's gone and Minter, things like that. So yeah, maybe it's a loan deal. If they're going to be in and around the first team squad, that would be great. But yeah, I'd like to see them get out on loan and get some experience and come back a little bit older, a bit more experienced, a bit more mature and a bit more developed. Get used to getting the shit kicked out of you. Get used to battling with players, you know what I mean? He's 40-year-old Grant from Derby. When you're going up against Rochdale in the League One, rainy night, getting big Trevor smashing you in the corners, you didn't want that. But that's the learning curve, it's what it's all about. Yeah, absolutely. But three good players there in different positions, striker, winger, defender. So hopefully they can kick on and have bright futures at the two. And like you said, even if there isn't space for them in the team or, with FFPs like we did with Eddie Anderson, you can make pure profit, and that's the world we're living in these days. It is, unfortunately, because you don't, like I say, you'd always like to see him come through, be like your next Gaza or whatever, like your next like proper like academy superstar, like even like minutes for the likes of like Sean Longstaff and Lewis Miley. Like we've got the potential to bleed these kids through, but we don't quite have the quality of like say like a Man United or Chelsea or someone like that, where they actually like do get youngins coming through and actually get minutes and opportunities. We've never really been that good of a team. Like you got to go through your Miley's, your Longstaffs, through to Andy Carroll and Paul Dummett. Like that's literally as good as our academy's been over the past 10, 15 years. Like we're not very good at it, but that's obviously due to like the previous regime. We're in a new era now where we are focusing heavily on it. So it is good to see these youngins coming up and trying to get a chance in. Yeah. On to the stadium, we're going to go sideways here before we talk about transfers of the main team, the title of the podcast, Liverpool, Isak, Joelinton, Saudi, Pedro to Chelsea maybe now. We'll talk all that in a minute. But I did a video the other day, Keg, on the stadium where there's been more articles coming out that they changed the capacity from the original idea of 65,000 to 70,000 due to the Carabao Cup celebrations, the hopefully trajectory of the club. So a question to you is that the right figure for bums on seats in the new St James's / Leisure Park Stadium. 70,000 capacity.
The more it goes up, the better it is. 65, I thought was a bit stingy, to be honest.
It's not enough.
I say it's like a 13,000 extension, which is great, but for the trajectory of the club and already the demand, I feel like we could easily sell out 70,000, and especially the better we're going to get. Like you're going to get like more fans wanting to come, like even like from like abroad and even new fans and stuff. Like everyone's welcome. Yeah, like I feel like we could easily sell out 70,000. Like Man United's currently 75, and what are they moving to, about 100?
100,
Yeah, so if Man United's all moving out of a 75,000 seat stadium, why can't we have a 75,000 seat stadium? Like everyone else is building around, like Tottenham's got a new stadium, Everton's got a new stadium, like everyone's expanding and everyone's getting bigger and better, and it's just the way that it's going to be. So yeah, I think 70's okay as a minimum, like going up to about 75. Like say if we're gonna build a new stadium, and we're not just extending St James's, what the fuck's the point in building the stadium just 13,000 seat big? Go big or go home. Might as well just fucking stay where we are and extend if we're only getting that big.
Exactly, because the thing is with extension, it was rumoured to take up to about 60, 62 on it. So you may as well just do that.
If we're going to build an entirely new stadium, God allows, why not?
You want a big, nice figure as well, to be fair. I think 70,000 is nice.
70's nice. Yeah.
It's good. I've said in the past, Geordie's the demand these days. People coming over from seas now. The big games we're involved in. You could look towards 75, 80, but I think we should park that for now. We'd have the ability to extend it.
Yeah. Don't have any listed buildings wrong.
I know listed buildings, no council wingers. Just 10 years time, we're smashing it, and it's 70,000 every week, and there's a big demand.
10 on top of that.
I just be like, all right, sweet. We're comfy now. We're around PSO. We've got. Sean Neve going to Liverpool for 100 million. We can afford the new stadium. We can afford an extension. So we'll get 80,000 on it, and we'll fill that. Because what Darren Neal's problem was, who was spearheading that at the time, was the fact of, can we fill it on a Tuesday night against Everton or a cup game against Bromley?
We can.
That's what I was
do
saying.
That all the time, even in the Championship.
And what I was
out like away grounds on a wet Tuesday night in Scunthorpe.
What I was saying is that you should be able to have accessibility as well. So if you're worried about building the stadium that's too big and you're going to be having 5,000 to 8,000 empty seats, how about reducing the ticket prices? So definitely fill it. Having general seat on the deal or loads of different ways around it. For me, you've seen the demand there. You've seen the amount of people that are on the membership scheme, hundreds of thousands just for the chance of a ballot.
I think I won one ballot last year.
It's shocking, isn't it?
Yeah. So
and I know you were good at it the year before, so it shows how many more members have came.
Yeah, I done quite well 2 years ago. But last year I think literally only got like one membership ballot. So
that's mad.
But I'm sure I'm not alone. Like there's loads of. I know there's demand. I know for a fact there's demand. Like loads of people want them and can't get them. So like more seats available and maybe a bit more accessible as well. That'd be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice. Is 70,000 enough? According to the chat, Conrad seems about right with the option to expand down the line. 70 is enough for the next 10 years, says John. Alessandro mentioned there, does more seats in the stadium mean you can keep the cost of the game ticket down? Well, you'd hope
Hopefully,
so.
Yeah.
I mean, this year, the ticket prices have risen by £5 to £10 for the Champions League. 68k with the capacity to expand is the sweet spot, says Aaron. About 70 is looking right and looking good for now, like we mentioned, with hopefully the opportunity to extend it. Before we talk transfers, there was just some breaking news on the way here, Keg, and I know we want to talk about it because his name, for some reason or another, kept popping up in the last few podcasts, and that is Mikhailo Mudryk of Chelsea. Because we kept on saying, what's happening to Mudryk? Where is he?
Yeah, literally. I forgot he was on loan or
80, 90 million pound winger, yet he's just picking up probably 300 bags a week at Chelsea and they're spending the money on everyone else. But now it's official that the Chelsea winger has been charged by the FA with anti-doping violations. He's failed a drug test for the prohibited substance meldonium, and he faces a potential ban of up to 4 years under FA rules. Mudryk said his failed drug test was a complete shock and still pleads his innocence. Bit of a boxing situation there, isn't it? Bit of the O'Connor then.
Yeah, maybe.
Been on the eggs.
Yeah.
Fry-ups.
You don't know what it is, to be fair. I know a lot of professional athletes take supplements and they've got a team around them to make sure that kind of stuff is monitored and make sure that they don't put anything illegal in their systems. Sometimes it just gets past you and you generally don't realise, but
I don't even know what meldonium is.
You don't know really. It's so. I'm sure he can appeal it. I doubt he's going to serve a 4-year ban. But what was it? Rio Ferdinand do like 8 months or something just for missing a test.
Aye.
So if you've been found guilty of something that is illegal, then it's not going to pan out too well. You'll maybe face a year out if he appeals it. But
it is up to 4 years. So he's probably going to serve maybe a year and a half.
So it's maybe a little bit harsh, but I don't know what this substance is. I don't know the rules. I don't know what the crack is, but it's a bit of a shitty investment. I haven't spent 90 million for a player that scored like 2 goals
on an 8-year contract.
Well,
I'm glad that's backfired because that's karma right there.
Good business, Todd Bowley.
Yeah, that's karma, man, because he got around many loopholes every transfer window. They're on about signing another 16 players this window, so
as always,
crazy,
man. Yeah, Chelsea they just baffle me. I just don't understand how they can get away with it.
I know, selling hotels, selling women's teams, but
that's one that's came out of Mudryk. It is a shame for Mudryk, but I feel like Chelsea kind of deserves some sort of look. Play the game. He's absolutely taking the piss, and this one's backfired on him massively. So, just deal with that if you can.
On the beak. See, is he in there?
He's on the beak.
He's been on the old bubble.
He's on the beak.
There's Mudryk. See how that one comes out, where obviously he's going to appeal it and see what his sentence is. Obviously, like you said, it's a shame for the player, especially if he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If he didn't mean it, he didn't really know what was going into his system. It's a shame, but it is what it is, baby.
Part of the game, man.
Yeah.
Should have went Arsenal, shouldn't he?
That's probably why Cole Palmer got the number 10 shirt, because Chelsea were like, well, I'm not going to see you for the next 2 years. You can give that number 10 shirt right up.
Bloody hell. Slapped it on him. No sympathy for player on all clubs he's in. Fair enough. Especially if he's guilty. Obviously he deserves it, but we're just seeing if it was didn't know what was in what. Yeah. Anyways, enough of Mudryk, enough of Chelsea. Actually, no, not enough of Chelsea, because guess what?
Oh, who are the what now?
Trying to sign one of our targets again.
All right, that's a surprise.
Last year it was Tosin, got him. I'm sure it was someone else the year before that. And then this year...
all of them. Disasi, Badiashile.
Everyone. It was a forward as well, but Chelsea.
Blamed a lot.
Yeah. That's fresh news as well, to be fair. That was recent. James Trafford. Him as well. But they are linked to now signing João Pedro, according to Fabrizio Romano. They have entered the race to sign him. Newcastle are the only team to be in negotiations with Brighton over the Brazilian forward. However, Romano is saying that Chelsea are about to enter the chat.
Of course they are.
And
they love a chat.
As we know that goes, they'll be able to offer double, triple the money. The appeal of living in the capital.
Yeah.
All that carry on.
Less of that.
And... Chelsea hijacked like Remy. Good show for Peter Griffin. Remember that one? Really needed Remy at the time as well. Denver Ball.
Denver Ball went there,
Fucking hate Chelsea. Big up Beneventi. He's a nice lad. So that's decent enough. But Chelsea themselves, honestly. But Newcastle are meant to be the only team in talks with Brighton for João Pedro, but Chelsea are stepping up their interest. What's on that one? Do you think there's a chance we still get him? Aaron's seen he's a smoke screen. I've mentioned that. I've got a feeling it could be a smoke screen because I think it's a lot of money for a backup. It's going to be, is it a Barella Tonali situation? But it looks like, we know Eddie Howe's still a big fan of him. He's tried to sign him in the past.
Yeah, and I think that's maybe something that we've got going forward because it seemed like it was a done deal. Like we mentioned last week, it was like...
that was Romano who said that.
Yeah, here we go, Fabrizio Romano, done deal, signing the contract. So I think that was a genuine interest. I think maybe him and his agent spoke to the club and maybe that was a deal agreed between Newcastle and Brighton and maybe João Pedro was interested in the move at the time, but maybe Brighton just had give him more money or maybe it was... Where did he come from? He come from Watford, didn't he? Yeah, so it was maybe it's a bit closer. Brighton's just down on the south coast there. It's not a million miles away from London. So
we pulled out the deal because we knew Isak was available. So we chose to go for Isak instead. Surprised.
Well, I think he might still have some interest, but it also depends on a couple of things for me. I didn't realise until last week that he was valued at about 60, 70 million. I think that's a bit mad, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think...
I seen Brighton sign that Greek kid though, 18 years old, for 34 to 38 million pounds.
Where did they get this money from? Even Minda? I'm surprised they coughed up the money from Minda last year.
Yeah, all this player sales.
I suppose.
The amount of money they made off Kaiser, they made 300 million off Caicedo and bloody
Alexis McAllister,
Cucurella, someone else as well. We're missing, I'm sure. But obviously they make big player sales. They've been in Europe as well. So they've got a bit of money.
Yeah.
But they are spending now. So Shea's going to catch up with them.
Well, yeah, should do. But
weight.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll cough up that money because essentially probably is going to be backup or he's going to be rotational. It is a lot of money for someone like him. So I mean, Chelsea will spend that money. and give him the wages. Probably more than what he wants. Like, oh, you only want 300? Oh, well, he has 400.
We actually got 500 grand down the contract.
Yeah, he has a slice of Mudryk's wages, so he doesn't need it anymore.
Mudryk's mansion as well. He's fucked up.
Just don't listen to his dietitian. He doesn't know he's that.
Don't check his cupboard in the bathroom or take any of that white powder on the kitchen.
So if we lose him, there's other targets out there. I think for how good he is versus his value, I'm not bothered.
Not bad.
Not really that bad.
Yeah.
No, I think there's
more
better, more affordable targets out there, to be honest with you. So if he chooses Chelsea, like Tottenham did last year, and that didn't really work out for you, did it?
Yeah. Could have carried away with your Conference League instead.
Yeah. So I'm not really too fussed, to be honest with you. As long as we know now, so we don't fucking waste time out somewhere long chasing them, and then from the get in Chelsea, then we'll be like, oh, right, don't know who else to sign now.
Guess we'll just have Wilson up top again. Guess we'll bring in Sean Lee for the burnabout. Good luck, lads.
Yeah, crack on Chelsea if you're willing to cover up the money that we aren't, and if João Pedro wants that move instead of us, then enjoy yourself.
I mean, I would love Pedro. I think he's a quality player, but I agree with you. I think, it's a lot of money when we really need a right winger to compete with Murphy. He's had a great season. We need a centre back. There's 4 or 5 positions we need. So, and it's like that's one of them.
Definitely. Yeah,
60 million.
It is just a lot of money. Essentially, we need someone who's going to not necessarily provide competition for Isak, but like someone capable of stepping in. Because Wilson's been too injury prone, and when he has played, hasn't really done that well last season. Asula's still an ongoing project and potentially better off on the wing as well. So we do need someone who's going to come in and be a very, very capable number 2. Because with Isak's history record and the amount of games that we're going to play, I reckon a backup striker is still going to get loads and loads of minutes next year. And I think that's something that is going to put a lot of strikers off. But you are going to play. Like, that needs to be made crystal clear. You are going to get a lot of minutes next year. And while Isak's fit, healthy and in form, and we've got important games like Champions League coming on, you're going to be on the bench. You need to understand that. But like I say, with Isak's history record, and he sometimes struggles to stay fit for 90 minutes. Like, you're going to get loads of minutes off the bench. You're going to be playing when he's injured, which happens fairly often. For rotation, cup games, whatnot, you're going to play loads. So it is still a good incentive to come to this club. Like, yes, while you might not be number 1 on paper, you're still going to get loads of minutes. So it is still, and we're going to offer you Champions League football. We're defending a Carabao Cup title. We want to be pushing top 4 in the league, if not better. So come here and work with Eddie Howe, who's a great developer. So maybe it works best for like a younger player, like maybe someone 22, 23, 24, something like that. And push Isak. If a team like Liverpool or something like that in a year or 2 years' time going to come and take Isak off with and step up, be one number guy.
It's funny because, Pedro is not guaranteed to be the main man at Chelsea. They've just signed Delap, who's took the number 9 shirt, and they've got Nicholas Jackson there still. Exactly, so it's not like he's going to go in and be the main guy there straight away. But you talked about it there, Isak. We'll get into that one now, and the real juicy one before we come back to that Brighton defender link. Isak, rumoured to go to Liverpool. Obviously, it was all Arsenal for the last couple of years. Arsenal now have apparently agreed a fee for Benjamin Sesko from Leipzig. I just seen that on DL Sports on the way here. So we know Liverpool really want to push things this year. They've obviously done that with the signing of Florian Wirtz. Fabrizio Romano came out yesterday and said that it is Liverpool's dream signing to get Alexander Isak through the door. And apparently Isak has always wanted to play for Liverpool. All that carry on again.
He wore Robbie Fowler's shirt to bed when he was a kid.
Absolutely loved Cinema Pongoli. That's his hero up top there, good old Florian. But Isak, Liverpool, I mean, goodness me, I think they keep dreaming, to be fair.
It certainly is a dream.
Yeah, and it's not going to come true.
Yeah, just keep sleeping.
Yeah, don't wake up. Liverpool dream of signing Isak. Well, it's going to be a dreamy fee, I'll tell you that. Because if Wirtz went for 120 odd or whatever it was, then Isak's going to be at least 150. I think we talked about this last week. But, it is. I mean, if Liverpool have got the financial muscle to do it again, I mean, spend like 300 million on 2 players? Surely they can't do that.
I think that is one key reason why they can keep dreaming. Like, for one, we wouldn't sell them to you anyway, unless you were going to bang up like 200 million, because we're not going to sell to a Premier League rival. Like, we're here to compete now. Like, we want to overtake you in the coming years. And Isak's our man. He's a 20-goal season striker for the last 2 years in a row. We want to keep players like that. And for a team like Arsenal, who's been sniffing around and think, oh, we'll sign him for 80 to 100 million. Yeah,
and then this we realised that wasn't going to happen. We'll go on to someone else.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, and this same goes for Liverpool. If you want them, you are going to need to pay well above market value, which is probably around about 100 million, maybe 120. So to go above that, you're talking 150 to 200. Like for us to realistically sell them to a Premier League rival, it's not going to happen. And you've just spoken about 140 million on Wirtz. Like, did they pay for Frimpong, or was he a free transfer?
Well, they paid 35 mil.
35 mil. And that's probably
a case from Bournemouth now.
Yeah, they'll probably spend a couple of million on. Yeah, it'll be a decent sign. Like, and there might be one or two others there and all. Like, where's this money coming from?
I know.
Like,
they won the Premier League.
Yeah, I know. And Liverpool
spent 120 million on one player.
Yeah, like Liverpool are a rich team, and they probably could afford it down the line if they do some sort of Chelsea tactic, give them like a 12-year contract. But nah, I just can't see it happening realistically. Like for one, we wouldn't sell them, and two, you've just absolutely blasted loads of money on Wirtz, and three, it's just not fucking happening.
If they hadn't have signed Wirtz, I'd right now be absolutely pooping my pants. Because I'd think, yeah, I could see it happen. And I'd be like, yeah, I could see.
Potentially.
We can have black and white glasses on, and Isak for a chance to go to Liverpool, the Premier League champions. They're going to be right in the mix again next year. They'll be in the mix for the Champions League. You know the way it's going.
Yeah.
So you couldn't really blame anybody in the world for wanting to join Liverpool right now. Do you know what I mean? So there is that. But after splashing the cash around Wirtz, I find it difficult to believe that they could then do that again. I mean, I may be wrong. I don't know what Liverpool's accounts look like, but I could find it remarkable if they did spend such a chunk of money on two big players.
And they're going to need to keep developing the future, because Slot's basically got the exact same team that Klopp did. Like, he hasn't made any major signings like pre this transfer window, apart from Chiesa, who made absolutely no impact last year.
He's a bit of a leave.
And like, I know they've just re-signed. I think they were shitting themselves that Salah and Van Dijk were going to walk, just like Trent did. Trent's gone. They've getting a good replacement, but Salah. Between him and Van Dijk, they're gonna leave probably within the next 2 years. Like, they both signed 2-year deals or something like that. Either leave on a free or retire. It's probably gonna happen within the next couple of years. So it's a bit of a big rebuild, because they're two major players. Trent was they've got Frimpong, who can potentially fill in that void quite well, and they've got young Conor Bradley there as well. But Salah and Van Dijk are just massive. Like, when they eventually decide to leave, who's gonna replace them? Like, so you're going to either save your money now or try and get them eventual replacements in to kind of understudy them. Like, maybe it's like a youngster who you think can develop to be as good as Salah. I mean, good luck.
Good luck on that one,
Yeah, I just don't see Liverpool right now spending, 150 plus on Isak.
Because it's just coming out now again. Ben Jacobs, another Liverpool reporter, saying Liverpool believe there could be a window of opportunity to sign Alexander Isak and believe it is worth trying. Newcastle still insists the striker is not for sale, but Liverpool could offer a guaranteed 100 million plus bonuses that would potentially exceed the deal for Florian Wirtz.
I mean, it's going to have to. What's the Wirtz deal, about 140, something like that?
126, I think it was.
126
pounds.
So yeah, it's going to have to exceed that. Like, we're not going to accept anything less. No. So you're either going to need to exceed that, or just didn't even bother trying.
Nah, didn't bother trying. Forget about it. Move on.
Try and get Gordon for 100 if you want.
Yeah, I mean,
start with that one.
I love Gordon, but I'd rather lose Gordon than Isak. About it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
And Gordon again will be about 100. So for them to say,
100 at least.
Yeah, at least 100. So, and that's one that is another one to keep an eye on, which everyone's talking about. Anthony Gordon to Liverpool if Luis Diaz does join Barcelona or somewhere else. So a few moving parts there for sure between Newcastle and Liverpool this summer window.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Oh no, our first home game of the season. One of them's in black and white. Not one of them's not in black and white.
In red. Less of that. Yeah, didn't want to be saying that. Certainly not Isak.
That would ruin my day.
And wouldn't really like to see Gordon in the red either. No, that's his boyhood club, and I'm sure he would like the deal. But yeah, just hopefully not. Not right now.
Hopefully not. Please no. On this rumour here, I find this one difficult to believe, but everyone was talking about it last night. It was that Saudi clubs, mainly Al Hilal, are very interested in taking Joelinton to the Kingdom of Arabia.
I'm sure there's a lot of people interested in taking him as well.
Aye.
Have you been sharing dreams with Liverpool, are they? Are you sleeping in the same bed, are you? Taking the same night all?
Well, these are actually the same owners as us, aren't they? So the question first off was like, why the hell would they make us weaker? by taking one of our star players, unless, and this is what our rival fans will say, if especially we went for a huge fee, you dodgy that. Give them that. Newcastle can now go and keep Isak and sign someone else for 80 million or whatever because they sold Joelinton for 80 mil and all the rest of it. But I just can't. I can't see Joelinton wanting to leave. He's saying a new contract.
You know how much he loves it. Yeah, his kids are settled and stuff.
Loves
He's
it.
Just popping at Ben's all the time.
Loves it. Yeah, popping up the Benz all the time.
Loves sausage rolls.
New contracts been done lately. He's a hero here.
Bruno's Bruno.
Yeah, so I can't see that one at all for me. Like, unless it was a mental offer and Joelinton did think, right, well, we'll go and Saudi Sunset make silly money for a bit. But I just don't see it.
Can't see it. No.
I just don't see it, me. Like, just not plausible. Like I said, they're talking about 80 odd million, a lot of money, double the money for paid from a long time ago. But it doesn't really make sense to me, that one.
But you know what it is, like Joelinton's not like a huge name, and he doesn't like he doesn't set the world alight like Isak will. Like Isak's goal numbers and stuff. But you know what it is, he's just such an important player for us. Like while he's not big, sexy, flashy, big, huge international name, he's a bloody important player for us. Like when he's missing, you can tell it. Like the difference that he makes to our team is just absolutely astronomical. Like the difference between him and Joe Willock is ridiculous. Like just how dominant he is in midfield, how much of an absolute bulldozer shithouse he is. Like at the back, winning the ball back, like sticking tackles in, getting forward, contributing goals and linking up play. He's like the complete midfielder. I think if you could spray a ball like Scorsese, if he could shoot like Pirlo, he'd probably be the best midfielder in the world.
Yeah.
Like, he's got every other aspect. Like, he's just not a great passer. He's not the best in front of goal, although he has got an eye for goal. He can't score goals. But I was thinking if you could yard it in from 30 yards and spray 60-yard like crossfield balls, he's probably the best in the world.
Yeah.
He just goes so unnoticed. So like the transfer value and the market value I was talking about. So he should be indispensable for us. Like his market value is maybe 80 million, but tell you what, I wouldn't sell him for 120.
Oh, Joelinton wouldn't sell him.
No, I wouldn't at all. No.
And now he's
so important.
He's a really unique player.
Yeah, he is.
Can't really find someone who does what he does in this day and
he's
age.
Passionate. He's one of the ones that wins a tackle and celebrates it like a goal. Like that's absolutely mad. Like I love that passion. Absolutely love him and Bruno together.
Even at the end of the season, it showed how much we missed him. The Arsenal game, really he's so pivotal. That's the final, getting in people's faces, making life difficult for Liverpool.
That's what I mean. Like when he's gone, he's so noticeable.
And there's articles here where they say that given that Newcastle are owned by Saudi PAF, any sale of Joelinton to Al Hilal, Al Ali, Al Nassr, or Al Ittihad would see UEFA intervene and wipe out any profits from the deal. Because remember,
how does
that benefit us in any way? The only one thing that we thought we might have going for there is like, we can make loads of money and then sign someone younger because Big Joe is 29 this year. But it was the issue that Riyadh had said with Alan St. Maximin when they were fair market value and it wasn't bloody fair. Well, even from 20 million for him.
Even from the owner's standpoint, though, like I say, he's a very good footballer. Where would you rather have him? For the club in the best league in the world, playing Champions League football, or playing Saudi Arabia? Not to disrespect the Saudi league, but like if you're an owner of two clubs, and one of them's the Saudi league, and the other one's in the Premier League, the best league in the world, that's playing Champions League football, where would you rather have that asset?
Yeah, exactly.
You want them in the best league in the world, don't you? Like, so that makes no sense from the ownership standpoint.
Yeah.
Let alone that they're not going to make any profit off of it. It just makes no sense in the world. So I'm not even entertaining this link at all.
I thought it was a strange link because if you were going to link, you'd think it'd be Bruno, wouldn't you? Or even, but you think the midfielder, you'd think it would be him, really. Bruno Fernandes turned down the move to go there. Bruno's more of a fancy name, a poster boy, you know what I mean, that sort of thing. So, I think it's absolute bollocks, to be fair. So,
me too.
We'll move on, and we've talked about Brighton before, talked about players that they've sold on for big chunks, and, this is what they do, bring players in that you've never heard of, sell them on for big fees. One link to Newcastle is Jean-Paul Van Hecker. Jean-Paul Van Hecker. Jean-Paul Van Damme, I'm going to keep calling him Van Damme, not Van Hecker. The big centre-back there, Botman's partner. Dutch centre-back, Steele, the pair of them. He's linked. I think this would be a great signing. You know what I mean?
That's not bad.
He's obviously linked there instead of a Gahey alternative. It's someone that has been highlighted as suiting Newcastle style of play. He hits those diagonals. He gets stuck in. His reading of the game is brilliant. Obviously, there's a bit of drama there because that was the one that got Gordon sent off in the FA Cup, pulling him down. It was saying Joe Pedro. He's the one that apparently had to bust it with on the training ground, and then he fell out with the manager Pedro. So he's a feisty one, Van Hecker, Van Dam, and he's linked to Newcastle. But as usual, Brighton are wanting big fees. Talking of 50 million, 60 million.
Whoa.
Again, it's inflated markets for a 25-year-old centre-back, but I suppose he has got his prime ahead of him there. He is Premier League proven. He's an absolute unit. I think this would be a class signing. Honestly, I really would. I would love it.
I do as well.
27 million, as a link, that's a bit more realistic. 27 million.
I mean, I would absolutely definitely take it for 27.
Market value's 32 accordingly. I think it would take at least 40 odd, to be honest. Brighton don't sell unless it's crazy money, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, in and around that fee, so from 27 to 40, I think it's pretty good business. I think at a max 50, as you said, they're looking at 50, 60 million. I think 50 max, if you can get a deal around about the 40 mark or less,
would be nice.
Pretty good
34
figure.
would be nice.
I think he's one of them kind of underrated players.
Very underrated.
I think probably if you're a Brighton fan, you're going to be a massive fan. That you see his potential. But I think he did step up. I think he had a really good year last year. So I think it's not a surprise that people think that he's a very good player. People know that he's a very good player, but maybe he's another one of them names that doesn't pop off a team sheet and think, Van Hecker, we're going to have a hard day because we're getting up against Van Hecker. He's not a big name, not one that's going to strike fear into you, but he's gone under the radar. He's a really, really good player. So yeah, I think depending on the fee, might be a good alternative to Gahey. We've been linked with millions of centre-backs over the past year or two. He's a new name being brought to the table, but one that I'm not mad at, depending on the fee.
I like a Van Hecker, or I like a Diamande as well, who's been linked to Sport Lisbon. Because you mentioned, if Pedro wants Chelsea, if he doesn't want, we can't get a move on. Same as the Gahey last year. So
don't piss about that.
So with Van Hecker or a Diamande, maybe we could just swoosh in and get that deal sorted a bit quicker.
Yeah, hopefully so.
And the bloody Gahey.
It might be easier with Diamande because, with that British tax and the Premier League rivalry kind of thing, Brighton might be playing hardball like they might do with Pedro. They might be trying to push for 60, 70 million. So you can jog on the seacoast for that. If they're going to play hardball for Van Hecker, same as what Brighton did, Palace did last year with Gahey, going abroad. Diamande, it's a bit more of a slight risk. It's not a major risk for international players, but I get what we're trying to do with more Premier League established players. It's less of a transition. But if a player's quality, the player's quality, it doesn't really matter. They should be able to hit the ground running. And the best part about it is we've still got a pretty good centre back. We've got Fabian Schär there. We've got Byrne. We've got Botman. No one needs to come in and start right away from game one. Villa away, we need to get a player in for Villa.
No, it has to be marquee, he has to be proven.
Not at all.
It worked well getting Botman in from abroad, didn't it? Yeah. Dutch as well. Yeah. So
Schär loves playing against West Ham.
He does.
Villa.
Yeah. Lovely stuff. Let's move on to wingers to finish off now then, Keg. A couple of names being linked once more, and we're talking about Tyler Dibblin. You're a big fan of his on last week's show. Apparently, back in January when he was linked away, Southampton were demanding fees close to £100 million. But now they're willing to look at fees starting from 25 to around 35. So that's a bit more of a realistic sign, isn't it? Maybe
it is.
His long-term injuries played a factor into that, the lack of game time, and obviously them wanting to get some money and sort the squad out to try and get promoted again. But Tyler Dibblin, young lad there, so I'm plenty of eyes on him.
Yeah, definitely. And he is a talent, like I was saying last week. I heard someone in around the facility talking about him, and they're saying it might be from the under 21s, saying he's the real deal. He's a really, really top player. It might be someone that was working in the England setup. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, someone rates him that highly. So he's an absolute top baller. I think he's worth it. If you can get him starting at 25 up to 30, 35, I still think it's pretty good business, because you look at how many minutes in game time Tino and Lewis Hall had and how much we paid for them. It's always a risk, someone so young and so inexperienced. But in today's day and age, especially with that British tax, you do pay over the odds, and you've just got to hope that it works, like Tino and Hall did. Like, I think everyone maybe has grumbled a little bit at their prices. Obviously, Tino coming from Southampton as well. It was a lot of money. And he was coming off an ACL as well. Diblin's just had a big injury. Yeah, Tino was a big risk coming off a big injury, big price tag. Paid off. So I feel like Diblin, especially at a cut price, like they might have been hoping if they were going to stay in the Premier League for 100 million. That ain't happening.
Yeah, that would have been the fee, wouldn't it? Because they would have needed to sell
somewhere between 25 to 35 could be really, really good business.
This does come here as a Tino type saying, doesn't
it?
That kind of thing would give Southampton for Tino.
Ease him in. Again, he's not the one that doesn't need to play against Villa.
Mayfield came off the best season of his life.
Yeah, exactly.
Sensational stats.
Just ease him in. Still a young lad. Just ease him in. Coming back off that injury. Because Tino had Trippier. Tino didn't play a lot when he first started.
Yeah, I like it. No, Diblin's a good shout. Someone who's a bit of a bigger name to finish off on, and kind of across Europe anyways, it would be a bit of a marquee signing, and that is Xavi Simons, the Dutch star there, who's been at Leipzig for a couple of years now, but they've just been off the back of a really bad season. They didn't even get European football at all. They finished 7th, was it? And he's told Leipzig that he wants to leave. Obviously, Leipzig are selling at the minute. They're selling Sesko.
Everywhere for his age.
He has. Is that a concern, though? 22.
A little bit.
Aye.
Where's he been? He's been at PSG. Leipzig. He's been in Holland. I think he came from Ajax or somewhere like that. I can't remember. But for such a young age, he's been here, there, and everywhere.
So sports building.
Bayern Munich? Did you have Bayern?
I can't remember. We'll check in a minute. I've just got this one here because Sport Bill are claiming Newcastle one of 4 Premier League clubs battling to sign him. Dutch international scored 11 goals and 8 assists last year, so still really good numbers for a Leipzig struggling side.
Score against England in the Euros.
Newcastle, Spurs, Man U and Arsenal are all interested in the 22-year-old. His brother Faustino, not as far, has been discussing a move with potential suitors. A £60 million asking price.
Do you think he hasn't actually been to as many teams as I thought he had? I thought he'd been around about.
PSV.
So he started in Barca's academy, then went to PSG, then went to PSV, then back to PSG, then Leipzig on loan, then signed for Leipzig permanently. So
still a few close for a
22-year-old. Being 22, 28 national caps for the Netherlands as well.
Not bad. £60 million. It's an ambitious asking price according to these, but he has entered the final 2 years of his current deal, so that could be some scope for negotiation there.
Yeah, I think he's a quality player. To be fair, like that kind of fee for him doesn't like turn us off at all.
As well.
I remember when he was only like however old he was when he was first coming up through, and there was this big story about him about how good he was. I remember that when I first heard about him, he was like being like spoke about like is this big like future superstar when he was only like 16 or something like that, and he's had his moves. He's been to some of the biggest clubs in the world though. To be fair, Barcelona, PSV,
big game player, then won big trophies.
I think 60 million for his age as well. Sometimes age comes into a factor. Sometimes if they're like in their late 20s or something, you think, do you really want to pay that much money? He's 22. He's very experienced for 22 as well. Very, very good. He's scored a quality goal against England at the Euros for the Netherlands.
Big room for improvement still as well.
Yeah. And again, coming in for a manager like Eddie Howe at 22 years old, you can only get better.
Like you just said there, he doesn't need to start first game of the season. Bed in, get a bit of experience, learn from the lads at the training ground.
Where would his key position be? Because I see him more like a number 10.
That's the thing. He has played a lot as an attacking midfielder, hasn't he? We would obviously want to try and get him on the right wing. So, is that an issue where, I guess he's not out and out there, but he has played there a lot. He's played on both flanks. Has played in midfield as well. We've seen him a bit of a free role, basically, for the Netherlands in that Euros.
Yeah, I think that really suits him, but
a Cole Palmer type thing.
Yeah, I just don't know if that's his best position.
There you go. You can play left 10 and right wing. Main position is attack midfield.
Yeah, he's pretty versatile, but with that number 10, I don't know if you'd kind of play him in a central midfield role and kind of give him that freedom, or do you kind of stick him on a wing and kind of hope that he stays there? I don't know. I think that might be reducing his abilities a little bit if you just say you're a right winger, stay there. Like
Grealish.
Yeah. You kind of want him to have that kind of freedom to kind of play a bit more central. So I'm not kind of sure if he really fits our style.
It's an exciting name though.
It is.
Want to get bums off seats, an entertaining player, but maybe with the price tag's high, is he the right fit?
Yeah, if you're going to spend that money, you want him to fit in. You don't want to have to adapt him or the team to fit him. You just want to fit in his place and crack on.
Be out and out. Right then, everyone, that'll do for this week's episode. Thanks so much for tuning in. Cheers to Anarchy Brewery for hosting us as always. We'll have some big news from them soon on their new cans of beer. Hopefully my throat and that sorted itself out and I can have a drink next week. That'd be lovely. And we'll have a new can display it and show you. But keep an eye on their website. Anarchy's available in supermarkets as well, like Morrison's and all that. So get yourself a few cans. Enjoy yourselves. Subscribe to my channel TV. And see you on the next one. And enjoy yourself. Joelinton.